Hi everybody, it's Lisa Marie here. Hi my Sweet Lifers. Listen, today I'm hanging out again with Father Andrew. We're doing another Sweet Life in Christ, and today we're going to be talking about you.
We're talking about Hannah.
Yep,
Hannah.
We're going to be talking about Hannah. So
Hannah's story is going to sound familiar to you if you remember a few weeks ago, however long ago we did it, but Rebecca's story, they kind of go hand in hand. They follow a little bit on their trajectory and what happened to them, and you mean
deceiving your husband?
Actually there wasn't that.
Here we go.
Just the I want a baby.
Yeah,
and
we all did.
I want a baby, and keep trying and keep praying, and that's what Hannah was known as. She was known for her awesome prayers. So Hannah was the mother of Samuel, who was a judge of Israel, one of the judges. And as I said, she was childless. So Elkanah was her husband, and she was one of two wives back in the day, where that happened. And so she was one of the two wives of her husband, and she could not. She was childless. The other one bore children for Elkanah,
right.
But she couldn't, and she just prayed, unceasingly prayed for this son to give to her husband, and to give birth, and that's what she did. She spent all that time in prayer. Now, she was the more favored wife. She was the first wife. She was more favored. He actually loved her, and not that he didn't love the other, but the other was the one who gave him the children. And back in that day, that was what was important. So there was this kind of, again, a rivalry, just like with Rebecca and Sarah, or Leah, sorry, not Sarah, with Rebecca and Leah, where one was given children, but the other was more favored. And so they kind of had this back and forth. Yeah. Like I said, she's known for her prayers. So that's what she prayed without ceasing for this son. And when she was given the son, she decided, okay, to honor God, to give thanksgiving to God, I'll send him to dedicate him to God, so he can be God's chosen vessel. Yeah, and that's what she did. She raised him up, and he became one of the great judges in the time. One interesting note about Hannah is she's again known for her prayers, known for psalms of thanksgiving, and one of her prayers is used in the Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year.
Yes.
The first day of Rosh Hashanah in the service, her prayers use a song of Hannah. This was a song she sang in Thanksgiving after finding out she was going to give birth to a son. Oh. So what does that sound like? Remember Mary, when we talked about her and Elizabeth visiting, when she found out she gave birth to the son, she sang the song of Mary the Magnificat. So here we have another kind of interesting, overlapping of Hannah and Mary's story. They both were exceedingly spiritual. They both were prayerful women, and they knew that God would answer their prayers. And when God did answer their prayers, the first thing they did was sing in thanksgiving to God. And that Hannah's song is used in the Jewish services, and Mary's song is used in Christian services. And they're both are wonderful songs of praise. But also they both gave their vessel, their gift back to God. Samuel was this wonderful gift that God granted her because of her prayers, and she gave it back to God. And it's kind of a reminder that God does answer our prayers. Sometimes it's no, and sometimes that's not fun. But when it is yes, when we do get that answer, we must be able to give back to God. All the gifts that we have is given to us because of God, and giving a little bit back is important to give
all of it back.
Give it back to God.
All of that. I mean, let's be serious, guys. I mean, y'all that have been watching me and been talking to me personally and reading the columns as well, I mean, I'm talking about all the time finding your gifts, and your gifts are what you're supposed to give wholeheartedly back. Yeah. And what she wanted was this baby. And by dedicating, there's no other greater honor. Yeah, that was the only thing she wanted. That's what she wanted, and she didn't hold on to him. So, well, you gave it to me. He's mine now. She's always his mother. She's his mother. She raised him. She cared for him, and she raised him in a way that he can be
use for God.
Right.
And in a way, again, here, you gave me this son. Here he is back. I've done this just like Mary.
Right.
You gave me this. I'm raising him up, and here he is. I have to let him go. And that was hard for Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Watching Jesus talk to crowds and be hard. And I can imagine Hannah when seeing him go off or becoming the judge, and even having people angry. That's tough. But they still gave it back to God and raised him up as in the faith in the relationship with God, so he can be used by God. And I think that's a hard thing for parents to do anyway. I mean, we want our best for our kids, but when and I know y'all have kids that are now one just graduated high school, and I'm sure you're feeling like you're gonna hang on to him. Like, I don't want him to go.
I do hang on to you.
Yeah, I don't want him to go.
I don't want him to go.
Yeah, and it's really hard to do that. I mean, my oldest is going into high school, and I'm already preparing for college. It's like, no.
I'm so grateful that both of them are close to
Yeah.
here, and that they've not decided to take off and go in the wild blue yonder, because we went. I left.
Yeah.
I was up at St. Mary's. I was gone. I was 3 hours away from home, and I was missing my grandma and missing my daddy, and but I'm glad that they've made the choice to stay close by just for a little while. There's plenty of time in this old world where we won't be together anymore.
Exactly.
So I want to enjoy as much as we have.
And so us as parents, just fathoming, I'm gonna raise this child, and then it's God's now. Bye. They're an adult. They're grown up. You're God's now, and I'm just gonna sit back and watch and let God be in control. That takes a lot of faith and a lot of courage and a lot of trust.
Right.
And that's what Hannah showed. She showed faith that if I pray, God's gonna grant me this.
Right.
And when God did grant me this, she showed thankfulness and a thankful heart, giving thanks to God and raising this baby for God's use, and then the trust, God, he's in your hands now, just like Mary with Jesus.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's I think that's a lesson we can take is God is a loving God. He gives us great things. He gives us gifts.
He answers prayers.
He answers prayers. Some yes, no, maybe. Those are his answers. He answers prayers. And when it's no, it's meant to be. When it's yes, though, when we are given those good gifts, which we all get.
Right.
He wants us to give back a little bit of that.
Well.
Or a lot.
Or a lot.
or all of it.
Or a lot. Anyway.
Because a baby is a lot.
A baby is a lot. So, well, listen, guys, I hope you found some value in that. If you did, do us a favor, like and share. Don't forget to ring that bell, and we'll see you soon next time here on Sweet Life in Christ. Take care.